Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new 3rd generation iPad. So to start off, here's what you get in the box, just a little envelope, and when you open it up, you actually have a SIM ejector tool that you can use to pop out the SIM tray, and you have 2 Apple stickers inside of the booklet, and you also have an important product information guide, and you have a little card that details all of the physical aspects of the iPad. Also inside of the box, you do get a USB cable that has a 30-pin connector on the other end to plug into the bottom of the iPad, and you can plug the USB side into either your computer or into this right here, and you use this to plug it into your standard US wall outlet to charge it, and you can actually take that part out and interchange it if you don't have a US wall outlet. The design is very similar to its predecessor. On the right-hand side, you have a silent toggle and rotate lock switch, as well as a volume rocker. And on the left side, you just have a SIM tray for the Wi-Fi and 4G models. On the top, you have a lock and power switch. Below that, you have a 5-megapixel iSight camera, and on the other side, you have a 3.5mm headphone jack port. Going back in the middle, you actually have a microphone. Along the bottom, you have a 30-pin dock port that's used for charging and transferring data, and you also have your standard speakers. So because the iPad hasn't changed much, and there are only 5 key differences, I'm basically just going to go over those. However, don't get me wrong, these differences really make this new iPad. First up is the Retina display, which is a display that has a resolution of 2560 by 1440, and it has over 3.1 million total pixels, and that is 4 times the amount of pixels as its predecessor, the iPad 2, and that's 1,000,000 times more pixels than your standard 1080p HD TV. Now going along, these pictures look extremely sharp and crisp, and they're optimized for the Retina display. Now obviously, because I'm recording this and you're playing it back on your device, you can't tell how crisp this display actually is, but I'm trying to do my best to get close-ups here. But to get its full effect, you actually have to see it in person. Now to complement this new display and to push all of the pixels to the display, I need a new upgraded chip. Now the processor speed hasn't changed. It's still a 1 GHz dual-core processor. The only thing that's changed in the chip really is the GPU, or graphics processing unit, and it has quad-core graphics. So its graphics are totally upgraded, and it allows for higher quality games such as this game right here, Air Supremacy. Now, this game is fully optimized for the new iPad's Retina display and quad-core graphics, and as you can tell, it simply looks amazing, and it has really great visual effects. Now again, the same thing goes for this. You can't really tell unless you're actually holding the iPad yourself, but trust me, this looks amazing, and it's definitely one of the better quality games. And hopefully we'll start seeing more games of this insane quality hit the App Store soon. Now next, I wanted to demo a game that's been around for a while, Infinity Blade 2. It's recently been revamped with Retina graphics for the new iPad's display. So zooming in here, we're actually going to cut ahead to a fight scene, and as you can tell, it just looks smooth and it flows, and the graphics simply look amazing, and it allows for stunning visual effects in the background as well as in the foreground when actually playing, and there is absolutely no lag time at all, and it does not take away from the gaming experience whatsoever. It enhances it, and it makes your mobile gaming experience nearly perfect. Alright, now moving on, the camera on the iPad was upgraded to a 5-megapixel iSight camera with iPhone 4S optics. It does have autofocus, tap to focus, and tap to set exposure, and you can even tap and hold to lock the focus and exposure. As you can see, it allows for really great and crisp pictures that you can easily focus on the foreground, background, or midground with no problem at all. And again, the saturation is just perfect in these photos, and they look extremely good. However, with that said, it doesn't really take great pictures in low light conditions, only really in optimum light conditions, which as you can see, I took all of these pictures outside, so they look simply stunning, especially on the new Retina display. Now because of the upgraded iSight camera, it also allows for full 1080p HD video recording. And as you can see in these 2 shots here, it does a really great job on focusing on whatever you tap on, and it blurs out whatever's left that you don't necessarily want in the shot itself. Now when comparing it to the iPad 2's video recording capabilities, it's much more stabilized because of auto stabilization, and it doesn't wash out with light, as you can see in this shot, and it just really brings out the color and it oversaturates things in comparison to the iPad 2's shots. And again, it does a really great job at not letting the light totally flush out whatever you're trying to capture. Now, next up, we have 4G LTE capabilities for the Wi-Fi and 4G model iPads. Now, this is only available on AT&T and Verizon inside of the US. So sorry if you don't have AT&T or Verizon, you will not get these 4G LTE speeds. So I just brought up the speed test app here, and we're going to test the speeds of 4G LTE using the speed test app from the App Store. So we're getting some really great speeds here. 13.34 megabits per second down, and it looks like we finished at 5.49 megabits per second up. Now, I know some people get speeds much faster than this and other people get speeds that are a lot slower than this, but what you really have to take into account are real world applications. So what I mean by that is how fast it actually performs when you're trying to do different tasks. So I have the Trailers app loaded up right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just load some clips over 4G LTE. Once you hit play, it instantly starts playing, and it does a really great job at buffering. As you can see, the light gray bar there shows how much it's already buffered. So scrubbing ahead to a part where it's not buffered, and it instantly plays. Now let's go ahead and find another trailer here. And again, same thing happens. When you hit play, it instantly starts playing and it buffers very, very fast. And there's actually no wait time from when you open up the trailer to when it starts playing. Now, going to another trailer here, you'll notice again the same exact thing, super fast load times and no waiting at all. Also, with the 4G LTE model, if you do have Verizon, you have the option to create a personal hotspot, which basically allows you to share your wireless connection over Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or via USB. Moving on to the fifth new addition that's exclusive to this iPad, we have Dictation. And I'm just going to show how fast Dictation works over 4G LTE. For those of you that don't know, Dictation is basically speech to text, and it does work system-wide. All right, so all you have to do is tap the microphone key. This is a dictation test for the new 3rd generation iPad. All right, then you just hit the microphone again when you're finished, and as you can see, it dictated it perfectly, and it did work very fast over 4G LTE. All right, so here goes one more test. Dictation on the new 3rd generation iPad is amazing. And again, as you can see, it did get that one correct as well. So essentially, Dictation simply works, and it does have its useful moments. So to conclude, this has been my 3rd generation iPad review, basically just going over the 5 key differences, which would include the Retina display, the A5X chip, the new upgraded 5 megapixel iSight camera, 4G LTE capabilities, and the addition of Dictation. So other than that and a few other minor hardware changes, it's basically the same as its predecessor, the iPad 2, and if you have the extra resources, it's definitely worth the upgrade from the iPad 2 in my opinion, because the Retina display alone makes this iPad great. So I hope you guys liked this video. Be sure to rate it up if you did, leave any comments down below in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.